1 year after the Battle of Yavin, the alliance to restore the Republic was in open war with the Empire. After the destruction of the first Death Star, many oppressed beings across the galaxy flocked to the rebellion. And the secret facility that helped to train a lot of these recruits was none other than an old Clone Wars era Lucrehulk. If you watched our in-depth breakdown video, you know that these were originally large cargo haulers. They also happen to be perfect for carrying the ships and vehicles of the CIS military. Thousands of X-Wings could fit inside of a Lucrehulk, while also having plenty of room to house all of these new recruits. The cargo hauler had a relatively fast Class 2 hyperdrive, and thus many were believed to have been commandeered upon hearing that the CIS was destroyed. The CIS leadership had been eliminated all at once on Mustafar, but the commanders of individual Lucrehulks were stuck with the decision to either turn themselves over to the Republic, or try and hide. Lucrehulks are as wide as Manhattan and about 1/6 as long, but that is still pretty small when you're talking about hiding at some obscure part of the universe. Set this thing down on a dead moon in some backwater system, around an asteroid belt, or even just in the middle of empty space not well traveled, and I think you'd be just fine. Maintenance would of course be a problem, but presuming that you would have a full loadout when you vanished, the commander would have millions of credits in military-grade equipment, stuff that you could easily sell to pirates or small planetary governments, or just use this opportunity to take over your own obscure part of the galaxy. Whatever the case, the rebellion's need to work in obscurity brought them into the path of this old Lucrehulk. By having modified X-Wings that could be remote operated, the rebels were able to train countless new pilots without losing any. In fact, Lucrehulk Prime, as this base was called, is under the command of General Hera Syndulla. In this panel, we can see that her incredible piloting skills were used to steer X-Wings back into the hangar bay safely via this remote VR system. Her talents, combined with this system, meant that she could be flying 6 X-Wings at a time. Now I would imagine that some of the Lucrehulk's armament were modified to be less than lethal, as the massive amount of assault laser cannons, quad laser batteries, and turbo lasers would make for intense combat flight training. The Lucrehulk seen during the blockade over Naboo wasn't even as strong as the Clone Wars upgraded versions, so if you could successfully get past this Lucrehulk's defenses, then you were more than ready to take on Imperial Star Destroyers. Though the amount of damage done to the Empire by these pilots once they left is hard to quantify, the base itself was involved in a major attack on a crucial Imperial asset. Hive Base 1 appears to be built from CIS core ships, which themselves were modified from the control core of the Lucrehulk. Dr. Aphra was able to use Hera as a sort of Trojan horse, knowing the rebels would track her via her command plaque, bringing the Lucrehulk into conflict with the Imperials. Now with the proper tools, they could rip out the main core of this Hive archive with the cargo ship's massive front claws. The X-Wing pilots would then pull the actual archives out, right before this station that was crucial to the Tarkin initiative was blown apart. What happened to this Lucrehulk after this event is unknown, and I think it is interesting to wonder how many rebel Lucrehulks existed. There was one that was used to attack the Death Star in Legends, but it is unknown if that story will come back in canon, or with a simple name change, could be this same ship. So that's it for the Rebel Lucrehulk. Let me know what you guys think about the Rebels using old CIS vehicles, and if you hope to see more of this kind of stuff in future Star Wars canon material. Definitely let me know in the comments down below. If you want to connect with us, help support this channel, or get your own copies of these comics, be sure to check out the links in the description. Special shout out to our supporters over on Patreon, but most important of all, remember, good technology never goes to waste, and the Force will be with you, always.